الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Amma ba'd. We'll continue inshallah ta'ala with this question. So I read the question, as you can see it on the screen too. There is a different opinion for a sister who is in the state of hayd, considering touching the Quran. Some say sister cannot touch the Quran at all, and others say the sister are only allowed to touch parts of the Quran, the smaller Quran. So what is the ruling of a sister who wants to touch the Quran? So the answer, it need to be like first rephrase the whole question, because it's not about the touching of the Quran, it's about studying and reading the Quran. That's the most important part, because the Quran is to be touched for the reason or for the illah or for the purpose of reading it. So the mas'ala here, it has two masail. The first mas'ala is touching the Quran. The second mas'ala is reading the Quran. The first mas'ala, touching the Quran in the general consensus or the majority of the opinion cannot be touched only in a state of wudu, not only menstruation or janab. So the Quran is need to be touched on a state of wudu. Then the next sub-mas'ala in this mas'ala, what is the Quran here? So we're talking about al-Mus'haf. And al-Mus'haf, as we have defined, قَالَ مَا بَيْنَ دَفَّتَيِ الْمُصْحَفِ, between the cover of the Mus'haf, starting from Al-Fatiha to Surah An-Nas, pure Quran. That is the Mus'haf on which this ruling is applied. So this Quran, which is the Mus'haf here in front of us, that's the Mus'haf. From the beginning to the end is Quran. بَيْنَ دَفَّتَيِ الْمُصْحَفِ. So this one is only to be touched in a state of wudu. And we said tahir, and we studied a little bit the difference of opinion among the scholars, but we go with the most known and the most, let's say, famous opinion, which is to touch it in state of wudu, with some exception, as we have mentioned last time. Therefore, the one in state of janaba or hayd, so is like in a state of big impurity, so they should not touch it at all. Especially the one in janaba. And janaba is the, let's say, what is the difference between janaba or hayd? In their, from a hukum point of view, it's not how to get the janaba, which is the janaba is like a wet dream or intimate relation. That's the state of janaba is under the control of the person. The state of hayd is out of the control of the person. The state of janaba, someone had the option to end it by just making ghusl. And if there is no water, they can't even make tayammum. So in the condition of janaba, the scholars, they say even the person is not allowed to read the Quran. The person in state of janaba cannot even read the Quran, cannot even remember. Some of the scholars, they have prohibited on the one in state of janaba. And it's understood because the state of janaba is under the control of the person, which is mean can end it at their convenience. The state of hayd is different. So the state of hayd, when it comes to the touch of the Quran, they will be the same as the same of the janaba, and actually the one who does not have the small purity, which is the wudu, he cannot touch it. But any other than the Quran, which is the book of tafsir, the book of meaning, the electronic Quran, any book that have more than 50% in it, more than Quran, which is like comment, tafsir, things that is not Quran. So the person can touch and hold that book because that is not the Mus'haf in any state. The reading of the Quran for the janaba, no. For the one in state of menstruation is allowed for them to read the Quran. So they can read the Quran at their convenience on their electronic devices, on books of tafsir, on books of the translated books, and so on, they can read the Quran. And this is, some of the differences of the opinion, if they are studying, if they are student of knowledge, if they this. But it truly, and the strongest opinion, Wallahu ta'ala a'lam, it was the Sheikh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn al-Qayyim, when they were, kind of analyzing the mas'ala with the ijtihad after the, the generation of the mujtahideen al-mutlaq, like the school of thought, is a condition that is not under their control. Therefore, the reading of the Quran is permissible for them, in that state of hayd. But the touching of the Quran is different totally issue, different totally mas'ala, and as we have explained it. And inshallah, the mas'ala is clear. Any other question here? Yes. Which state? Voicing the reading. Yes, voicing. I mean, reading and voicing and reciting all equal. It's permissible for them. Not for the state of Janaba, yes. Yes, that's the state of Janab. That's the Janab. That's the state of impurity. What caused the state of impurity? The intimate relation between spouses, the wet dreams, and so on. We'll talk about it.
After the 15 days, after 15 days,
Again, sister?
after like the 15 days, so when a woman is menstruating, you said after 15 days.
The 15 days, according to the scholar, is the maximum days of menstruation. So if someone does not know their normal days, they will wait to 15 days. And then after 15 days, they take a shower and they start to pray. Huh?
So they can touch the mushaf as well.
Yes, that's not hayd anymore. It becomes istihada. And the istihada, they can touch, as long as they can pray, so they can touch the mushaf. The teaching is the same. The same. They can use electronic Quran, they can use the meaning of Quran, book of tafsir in Arabic. Is all those that do not apply on them the ruling. طيب Jazakallah khair for the question, because there's a part which we'll go back to it and we postpone the tayammum for next time. We didn't talk, somehow I missed these pages, about the nifas, and then what the ha'at can do. We said what it causes, alamat al-tuhri, and ahkam al-hayd. Don't think he mentioned here, but yeah, but I can answer your question, inshaAllah ta'ala. So, for the postpartum bleeding, the maximum, according to the main opinion, is 40 days. According to Al-Imam Malik, there is no limit of its, the minimum days, there is no limit. Some scholars, they say 25, others, they say 11 days. But truly, I mean, if there is no blood, it stops, Then, if it's totally dry, then they take their shower and they pray. However, the most important is to know aktharun nifas, because it might stop and comes back. It keeps stopping and coming back, how long the person should wait. in this postpartum period is 40 days. Is 40 days. Some of the scholars, they want to 60 days, but al-muta'arif, the most known, is 40 days. After 40 days, they should resume their prayer. So قال وأكثر أهل العلم من الصحابة, the majority of the scholars among the companion, they say 40 days. And also this is the opinion of Shafi'i and Abi Hanif. And also the Hanbali is 40 days. Entering the masjid. The crossing the masjid is permissible. To cross the masjid is permissible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala قال إلا عابر سبيل. عابر سبيل, someone traveler, someone does not have home, or someone crossing the masjid. In the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam for Sayyida Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha, she said, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked her to get something, humrah, it's like small rag according to some of the interpretation from the masjid. She said, Ya Rasulullah, I am in state of hayd. He said, but your hands are not in a state of hayd, which is your hands are clean. So when we talk about the hayd, the only impurity is from the bleeding itself, but the rest is for the woman is pure. And this is what Islam differ from all the faith before, where, for example, in the certain practice in the people of the book, when the woman is in hayd, she will be like even living outside the house. It's not the case of the Islamic faith at all. So here she can enter, as also the person who has janaba, they can also cross the masjid, but they cannot stay in the masjid. They cannot stay in the masjid. For al-ha'id, they can, come to the masjid and stay outside the main hall of the musalla, or to be in the back sitting if they wish to listen to a lecture or things, and that is permissible according to Ahl al-Ilm. So that's the mas'ala that we didn't talk about it. And it has the hadith that I have mentioned of Sayyidah Aisha, and also the saying of the scholars about, for those who have hayd and want to attend, so as long as they're away from the main hall of the prayer, they can sit in the back. There's no objection for them to be there and to take part of the activity, listening or even asking a question and so on. What else we can add here? Yes. For example, if you apply to the masjid here, the sister, they can enter to the sister side and sit in the back. There is no objection. If she can be inside the musalla, in the back, then so make by analogy, so it is. Any question concerning this? Yes. Again? The junub, he can cross but cannot be in the masjid.
He cannot even sit in the back too.
No, he cannot. Unless he's a traveler. And the traveler, which means does not have people he knows, and the only place that a traveler, talking Abiri Sabil in the Muslim community, that he can enter with a very comfort way is the masjid. So he entered the masjid to seek the water and to wash and then pray. Okay. So Al-Imam Malik was given a lecture about the mujnib would not enter. So one of the students, he was kind of arguing with Imam Malik. He said, but what if he does not find the water outside? Yeah. So Imam Malik kept silent. He said, you must be from the Iraq. Which is me like you're getting your knowledge from Imam Abu Hanifa. He said, you must be from Iraq. Because they said he can enter by permission to get the water out, take a shower, and enter back to the masjid. So, I'll be receiving. Yes, Hassan. Go take a shower and come back. So they cannot stay. They cannot do anything. If people, they say, where they're going to find the water. If there's no water, they do tayammum. Voilà. Go home. That's haja. And that does not break the etikaf. Because someone went to need. If someone come ask for direction and he does not know how to go, and to help a Muslim, as Ibn Abbas said when he once left the etikaf, he told him, do you leave your etikaf to go this? Ibn Abbas, he said, to go in serving the matter of a Muslim greater than the etikaf. So if you go and you take someone somewhere and you drive them and everything, you take them back, it does not break your etikaf. So by necessity, you need to, even to take a shower and change your clothes and everything, so your mind is in etikaf, which is actually in Surah Al-Baqarah. How can we explain this ayah? I'm going to show you an ayah. And how can we explain it? Just to give you another perspective of the hukum. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said here, قال ثم ولا تباشروهن وأنتم عاكفون في المساجد. And do not have relation with them while you are secluded in the masjid. How can this happen? Here, look what he's going to say it in English. Yeah. Then complete the fast until the night and do not have relation with them as long as you are staying for worship in the mosques. So the only explanation, because you cannot, someone will be like having a tent with his family inside the masjid, this is i'tikaf. So for a need to go to the house, he's under the intention of the i'tikaf, even in the night. So they will not be able to have intimate relation. Why? Because he's in a state of i'tikaf, despite the fact that he's outside the masjid. That's how the fuqaha, they explained it. Jazakumullah khair. If you have any question, you are very welcome. If not, we'll have 2 minutes and we start the class of Science of the Quran. Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayat Al-Siyam, 187. Yes, yes. We might discuss it in the fasting classes, and we're going to have a preparation for Ramadan, inshallah. But just for our people online, sorry, it was muted, so inshallah you didn't miss much. Inshallah we have it recorded, inshallah ta'ala, I'm sure. طيب, for the answer, in a quick answer, is they will pay fidya for every day. Because as you have said, it's going to accumulate, then it's not going to be possible for the women to make up all the fasting. So they make fidya for every day. And the fidya is it'amu miskin, for the majority of the scholar, is to feed one miskin. So it will be like the value almost of zakat al-fitr, which is like, not zakat, of a meal. And a meal will be like around between $7 to $10. Number the days. طيب علوم القرآن. 1 minute and then we'll start inshallah.